Yeah, Fiesta.
It's Monday morning, it's a new start. It's the first full week with me and Barney. We've got a bit of clearing out to do, and next week, bosh, we're on it. Let's get the kettle on, let's get some cars moved, let's see what we've got going on. Right, so we've got 4 turned up today. And again, when it's hot, the engine won't start. He parked it up, didn't come down, ask where he wanted to park it, stuck it round the corner in an awkward space and then turned it off. Come down, so yeah, that probably won't start. But you know, here's what it is. So luckily he stayed in it, we pushed him in. Little Fiesta with a radio fault. Barney's just working through that. No sound, no audio, nothing turning on the screen. We've got a Boxer out there, no, Ducato out there with a horn fault and some other bits going on, and a wiper fault on a S-Max. The parts turned up for this Audi TT body control module. This was agreed that she'd bring it in today. As long as the part turned up, she could bring it in. She's hanging around over the CAF. I have explained that it can take a little while, but when somebody's over the CAF and they're hanging around, they say, well, it's not too much of an issue. It just puts that little bit of pressure on. So you think, oh, we'll get that one done first, knock that one out, and then we'll get on to the other jobs. It's been an absolute pain to program both keys in. You knock one out as you program the other one in, there can be a nightmare. Battery was weak on one key, is what's caused it. So we ended up managing to get that back together, but now I need some answers on these other cars before sort of lunchtime. So that's going to have to wait to go back together until we've got a few more answers. Now we know where we're going with it, but again, I'm trying to program these keys in. It's getting more and more frustrating when really it should just been left here. I'll phone her when it's done. But what can you do? So McGann, it's looking like a crank sensor on that one, so we're going to get that one ordered. Let's get this Ducato in, see what's going on with the horn with it. Barney's just doing a Fiesta, and then yeah, we'll have a bit of a swap around, get this one back together, get that back to her, and then yeah, we'll see what we can do. All right, 66 plate S-Max. Can you see this? Whoa, she's possessed. All right, obviously know what the fault is with this one. There's something wrong with that. So let's give it a scan and see what it comes up with. All right, so got into steering column control module, and it does say it knows when it's on. So high speed, low speed, washers. So yeah, all the switches are working, but it doesn't know when they're parked or anything like that. So that's going to be bad earth, bad live. I mean, that you can see that one just goes up and down. So it could be one of the motors. So these have 2 motors on them, and they work hand in hand. So one has power to it, the other one normally. They both have power. One gets controlled, and then that one talks to the next one. So there's a master and a slave. So let's get some diagrams up, find out where all that's controlled from, and have a quick look into it. So I've checked the diagrams. Quite a basic setup, it looks like. There's like body control module, switch, and yeah, a slave and a master motor. So I thought we'd get to the motor, make sure we've got no voltage drop on the earth or on the positive side. Come under here, and it's always a worry when there's clips missing. That nut, that side's brand new, that side's all rusty. As I undone this side, the whole arm's just flopping about, so it feels like the motor's either broken or something. I'm not quite sure who's been here, who's been playing. Customer said that he's had a new washer motor put in it, but that's all he said. But has this been played with before? Was it played with before he bought it? Who knows? Has he been tinkering with it himself? I don't know. You can see every one of these clips have been off. So, and it's not even connected down the screen. So any water that's coming down is going straight into there instead of being directed off to where it's meant to go. So it's going to be a fun one. Sure it is. So, oh, there you go. So, yeah, that motor's just spinning. Let me just show you that. Let's get this off quickly. I don't know, it looks like what they do. They look like quite Loose little doodahs. I just spinny motors. So that does all that come off. Oh, can you believe it? Right, I'll get it stripped out, show you what I'm doing. Well, that's a weird one. So, stripped all the scuttle out, stripped both motors out, took the plugs off, quick check, make sure there's not full of water or anything like that. Got my meter set up, or probe set up, just to make sure we've got full earth, full live to both motors. Turned it back on, they're working. So now the only thing I can do is bolt the motors back in, put one on one at a time, park them properly, link them together, but I can't understand why, because it's not squirting. The washers now, the washers are working. What's different? Did I have the bonnet down? Maybe I had the bonnet down. But now the bonnet would just stop and working. Yeah, well weird. So obviously before it was squirting the wipers up, it's not doing any of that anymore. They're working fine. So right, let's get them bolted back in, put the arms on, see what's going on.
Good morning, guys. I've got this in today. This came in for a head unit fault. So I'm going to show you around it and show you what's going on with it. So this Fiesta came in this morning for a head unit fault. So I've scanned it and it had no communication with the audio control module. So I have stripped it down and I've accessed the audio control module. So the Fiesta came in with a head unit fault, so it's lost communication to the audio control module. So I've stripped it all down and I've located that, and I've got the wires out so we can test them now, and I'll show you what I've tested and why I've tested them. Right, so as you can see on the wiring diagram, that's the audio control unit, and we've got this wire from the battery. So there's the battery, the wire runs all the way through, it comes down to here, and it runs through all of these fuses and back up to the unit itself. So that's meant to have 12 volts constantly. So I've tested that and we have got 12 volts. So we know that there's no issue from the battery to the unit. There's also this wire which goes to the ignition switch. So on the first click of the ignition, this should have 12 volts coming through it. When the ignition's off, it should have nothing. So I've tested that, and on the first click it does have 12 volts, and when it's off it's got nothing. So that is all good. So I've also tested the communication lines, and I'm going to show you what the probe does. So this is what we were looking at on the wiring diagram. So this is the plug for the audio control module itself. As seen on the wiring diagram, this pin in this corner with the ignition off is meant to have 12 volts running to it at all times, which as you can see it does. And when you click the ignition over, we've got 12 volts on that one. So that one's the battery live and that one's the ignition live. These two pins here are our communication lines, and with our new tool we can test them like that and it gives us the proper reading. So we know we have a switch live, a main live, and the new probe shows us that we have communication. So we suspect that it's the head unit that is at fault. So we're going to grab one from the breakers, plug it in, and we'll go from there.
All right, mate. Really? Oh, a mess. So we had this note phone up. Our card machine was playing up. There's a problem with the terminal. Can't remember if we was meant to phone her back or she was meant to phone us to pay a deposit. So we're not sure if that one's coming in today. Got a Hyundai with an ABS fault, a Shogun with an ABS fault, and a Volvo from Canterbury Motoring World with a reduced acceleration fault on it. So just waiting for them to turn up. What got left from yesterday?
Got to get the head unit for the Fiesta.
Right.
Does that need to go back together? The S-Max?
No, so the S-Max, we took the wipers all apart and they started working as soon as we stripped them out. So yeah, we'll slowly put that one back together today, see what changes as we're putting it back together. I'm doing a Boxer Camper. You can play with that one. So yeah, it's looking all right. So just had a customer phone up. Said she couldn't pay a deposit till the 26th. So she found out, yeah, I'll drop my car down and I'll pay the deposit tomorrow morning. That's all. No, you know, when you pay a deposit, that's when we book you in for the next available slot. Yeah, well, you said I could do it on the 26th. So, but that's what the deposit's for, to secure you a slot. We don't secure it on the day. Well, when I put it down tomorrow, I'll pay it then. So no, it don't work like that. You know, just deposits are to secure a slot, and everyone's booked all them slots up till now. But she expected us to keep her a slot for the 26th so she can possibly phone up, and make a deposit then. I don't know. Maybe we don't explain ourselves very well. Quite obvious, though, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to work it out.
They'll make a blonde joke.
Yeah.
We'll see when she turns up. So we've got McGann. So we've got a couple of parts to fit on. We've got the McGann. That crankshank will turn up this morning. We've got the door lock for that Mercedes.
Yeah.
That can go in. The Fiesta, the Focus is all done apart from the door handles. We just need to price them up, find out where we're going to get them from. But really, we could leave them disconnected, give them back to the customer, and then supply them as another job afterwards. That Citroen C3, is it outside with a flappy paddle?
Oh yeah.
Com unit?
Yeah.
That's turned up as well.
Okay.
So yeah, 3 fitting jobs to do today. Finish up a couple of jobs from yesterday, and then we got 3, possibly 4 turning up today. So let's get into the day, see what we can do. Finish your tea, and that plan?
Rock and roll.
Ta-da! So, talk about one job ruining your whole day. This one was in yesterday for a horn fault, and it's turned into quite a major fault. So, spent a bit more time on it than we should have yesterday. Got it stripped out, thought I'd come this morning and just finish it off. And yeah, it hasn't gone to plan. So, we're stripping. We're going to do that on a separate video. But yeah, because you think, oh, I'm close to it now, let's spend another half hour on it, and then that one can go. And then you're leaving all your other jobs, all of a sudden they build up to the afternoon, you've still got a day's work ahead of you. So yeah, that's put us out. We had 2 jobs turn up. They're both intermittent, like severely intermittent. One of them's done 60 miles this morning, still hasn't played up. And another one, yeah, they drove it down here, didn't come up. So yeah, we're going to have to give them long road tests, see if we can get anything out of them, clear the codes. Again, that throws you right out, you know. So this S-Max with a wiper fault, shows you this one yesterday. Wipers doing one, washers squirting, everything. Put it all back together, or took it all apart, took the plugs out of the motors, no corrosion, no nothing in them, put them back together, and it started working. So we slowly fitted it all back together, bolted them in there, put the squirters on there, done everything. And it's absolutely fine. You know, look at it. It's absolutely fine. Does the squirters, does everything. So I spoke to the customer. What does he want to do? Does he want to leave it here so we'll try it again in the morning? Or does he want to try it tonight? So yeah, he's going to come down, take that on the understanding that we haven't properly fixed it. We can't tell him anything. So his 2 hours deposit will cover that one, so that's not too bad. So yeah, that one can go. Just had to get this Peugeot in. That's got a comm unit to be fitted on there, all the stalks, but that was tucked right out of the way. So that was over there with 3 cars in front of it. So it had to be the one what was right at the back what needed parts. So yeah, so it's thrown us right out. So all right, let's get a couple of these moved. This Ducati will have to go back into tomorrow now. But again, I've got a full day's work in tomorrow as well. So what can we do? So we've got a couple of squib units to fit. Not called squibs, are they? Don't like calling them squibs. So yeah, got a comm unit to fit on that. Clock spring on a Nissan Note out there. And then I'll probably do for the day, because the other 2 jobs are both intermittent faults, which I don't think we're going to be able to get to. So, right, let's see how we go. Right, another moan. Here we go. Broken my own rules once again. This one come in, it's got the column switches all faulty, the ribbon actually broken it. They're like 600 quid for a new one. Customer didn't want to pay it. Asked me to source a second-hand one, which I didn't want to do, but went against my own rules. Found one, got it ordered in. Phoned him last Thursday. Said, yeah, I can order you one in. It'll be even a few days. We'll get it done. Friday morning, he's on the phone. How you getting on with that? Oh, so it's bad enough anyway. So it's turned up this week. We've got it in. We've moved like 4 cars to get it in. Brought it in a workshop, and the one they sent down is faulty as well. So now I've got to go back, try and get my money back on that one. He still wants to fit another second-hand one, which really I should just say to him, go get your own. You know, buy a new one, get your own one, whatever, you know. So I've lost money on that. Well, potentially if they don't refund it for some reason, but eBay are pretty good at it. I've lost another hour, taking that one off, now I've got to swap it over again. I'm going to charge him for it. I don't care. I'm done. So that's it. I'm going home. I've had enough. That's me done for the day. So if you like me slagging off people's cars, slagging off myself, slagging off the customers, like, subscribe. I'm happy. If you don't watch it. I don't care. I've had enough. I will see you on the next one. Have a good weekend. Have a good evening. Have a good night, whatever you're doing. And I'll see you then. Ta-da!